is Wednesday, February 21st. Time for Rapture is the 10th day of the 12th month in Enoch calendar. Starting tomorrow, February 22nd to this weekend, February 25th, Sunday, is a critical time that it could be the beginning of the chain of events into the beginning of the 7 years of Great Tribulation. So far today is relatively quiet and peaceful, but you never know, they will all of a sudden orchestrate a sudden event to catch everybody off guard. So keep watching and praying. Today I'm going to read from the second book of Enoch, the book of the secrets of Enoch, chapter 24 to 38. And the Lord summoned me and said to me, Enoch, sit down on my left with Gabriel. And I bowed down to the Lord, and the Lord spoke to me, Enoch, beloved, all that you see, all things that are standing finished, I tell to you, even before the very beginning, all that I created from non-being, and visible physical things from invisible spiritual. Hear, Enoch, and take in these my words, for not to my angels have I told my secret, and I have not told them their rise, nor my endless realm, nor have they understood my creating, which I tell you today. For before all things were physical, I alone used to go about in the invisible spiritual things, like the sun from east to west and from west to east. But even the sun has peace in itself, while I found no peace, because I was creating all things, and I conceived the thought of placing foundations and of creating physical creation. Notice that the thought is the origin of all things, not the wisdom that the Satanists proclaim, that the wisdom is the enemy of God. I commanded in the very lowest parts that visible physical things should come down from invisible spiritual, and Adol came down very great, and I beheld him, and lo, he had a belly of great light. And I said to him, Become undone, Adol, and let the visible physical come out of you. And he came undone, and a great light came out. And I was in the midst of the great light, and as there is born light from light, there came forth a great age, and showed all creation which I had thought to create. And I saw that it was good, and I placed for myself a throne, and took my seat on it, and said to the light, Go thence up higher, and fix yourself high above the throne, and be a foundation to the highest things. And above the light there is nothing else. And then I bent up and looked up from my throne. And I summoned the very lowest a second time, and said, Let Arches come forth hard, and he came forth hard from the invisible spiritual. And Arches came forth hard, heavy, and very red. And I said, Be opened, Arches, and let there be born from you. And he came undone, and age came forth very great and very dark, bearing the creation of all lower things. And I saw it was good, and said to him, Go thence down below, and make yourself firm, and be a foundation for the lower things. And it happened. And he went down, and fixed himself, and became the foundation for the lower things, and below the darkness there is nothing. And I commanded that there should be taken from light and darkness, and I said, Be thick. And it became dust, and I spread it out with the light, and it became water, and I spread it out over the darkness below the light, and then I made firm the waters, that is to say, the bottomless. And I made foundation of light around the water, and created 7 circles from inside and imaged the water like crystal, wet and dry, that is to say, like glass, and the circumcision of the waters and the other elements, and I showed each one of them is rolled, and the 7 stars, each one of them in its heaven, that they go thus, and I saw that it was good. And I separated between light and between darkness, that is to say, that in the midst of the water, hither and thither. And I said to the light that it should be the day, and to the darkness that it should be the night. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. Notice that the end of the evening is also the beginning of the morning, which is, for example, the 12 a.m. That's why there was evening and then there was morning the first day. The completion of the first day, the end of the evening, the 12 a.m. comes the morning. I know that a lot of people have the misconception of sunset to sunset, but this is not the case. It's because the end of the night is the beginning of the morning. And then I made firm the heavenly circle, and made that the lower water, which is under heaven, collect itself together into one whole, and that the chaos become dry, and it became so. Out of the waves I created rock hard and big, and from the rock I piled up the dry, and the dry called earth. And the midst of the earth I called abyss, that is to say, the bottomless. I collected the sea in one place and bound it together with a yoke. And I said to the sea, Behold, I give you your eternal limits, and you shall not break loose from your component parts. Thus I made fast the firmament. This day I called me the first created. And for all the heavenly troops I imaged the image and essence of fire, and my eye looked at the very heart, firm rock, and from the gleam of my eye, the lightning received its wonderful nature, which is both fire in water and water in fire, and one does not put out the other, none does one dried up the other. Therefore the lightning is brighter than the sun, softer than water, and firmer than hard rock. And from the rock I cut up a great fire, and from the fire I created the orders of the incorporeal 10 troops of angels, and their weapons are fiery, and their raiment are burning flame. And I commanded that each one should stand in his order. So there are 10 troops of angels. They are created from the great fire, which is the lightning. And from out of the order of angels, having turned away with the order that was under him, conceived an impossible thought to place his throne higher than the clouds above the earth, that he might become equal in rank to my power. And I threw him out from the height with his angels, and he was flying in the air continuously above the bottomless. So the second day is the birth of 10 troops of angels, and at the same time the fallen angels threw out from the height to the earth. On the third day I commanded the earth to make grow great and fruitful trees and hills and seed to sow, and I planted paradise and enclosed it, and placed as armed guardians flaming angels, and thus I created renewal. Then came evening and came morning the fourth day. On the fourth day I commanded that there should be great lights on the heavenly circles. On the first uppermost circle I placed the stars, cosmos, And on the second, Aphrodite. On the third, Aries. On the fifth, Zois. On the sixth, Hermes. And the seventh, lesser, the moon, and adorned it with the lesser stars. Okay. And on the lower, I placed the sun for the illumination of day, and the moon and stars for the illumination of night. Sun, that it should go according to each constellation 12. And I appointed the succession of the months and their names and lives, their thunderings and their hour markings, how they should succeed. Then evening came, and morning came the fifth day. On the fifth day I commanded the sea that it should bring forth fishes and further birds of many varieties, and all animals creeping over the earth, going forth over the earth, on four legs and soaring in the air, male, sex, and female, and every soul breathing the spirit of life. And there came evening, and there came morning the sixth day. On the sixth day I commanded my wisdom to create man from 7 consistencies: 1, his flesh from the earth; 2, his blood from the dew; 3, his eyes from the sun; 4, his bones from stone; 5, his intelligence from the swiftness of the angels and from cloud; 6, his fangs and his hair from the grass of the earth; 7, his soul from my breath and from the wind. And I gave him 7 natures: to the flesh hearing, the eyes for sight, to the soul smell, the veins for touch, the blood for taste, the bones for endure, to the intelligence witness enjoyment. I conceived a cunning saying to say, I created man from invisible spiritual and from visible physical nature. Of both are his death and life and image. He knows speech like some created thing, small in greatness and again great in smallness. And I placed him on earth, a second angel, honorable, great and glorious, and I appointed him as ruler to rule on earth and to have my wisdom, and there was none like him of earth of all my existing creatures. So humans are the second angels. And I appointed him a name from the 4 component parts, from east, from west, from south, from north. And I appointed for him 4 special stars. And I called his name Adam, and showed him the 2 ways, the light and the darkness. And I told him, this is good and that bad, that I should learn whether he has love towards me or hatred, that it be clear which in his race love me. For I have seen his nature, but he has not seen his own nature. Therefore, through not seeing his will, through not seeing, he will sin worse. And I said after sin, what is there but death? And I put sleep into him, and he fell asleep. And I took from him a rib, and created him a wife, that death should come to him by his wife. And I took his last word and called her name Mother, that is to say Eve, E-A-V. So that's a sin nature of man ever since man was created in the first place, Adam. That's so sad, right? Because Adam could not see himself. Adam has life on earth, and I created a garden in Eden in the east, that he should observe the testament and keep the command. I made the heavens open to him, that he should see the angels singing the song of victory and the gloomless light. And he was continuously in paradise, and the devil understood that I wanted to create another world because Adam was Lord on earth to rule and control it. The devil is the evil spirit of the lower places. As a fugitive, he made Satana from the heavens, as his name was Sentinel, Satan. Thus he became different from the angels, but his nature did not change. His intelligence as far as his understanding of righteous and sinful things. And he understood his condemnation and the sin which he had sinned before. Therefore he conceived thought against Adam. In such form he entered and seduced Eva, but did not touch Adam. Here I am speculating the devil is Sophia because the story that I found about Sophia, she was trying to create beings like God. So she created Satan. It's just a speculation. I'm not sure. I don't know how to confirm that. But I cursed ignorance. But what I had blessed previously, those I did not curse. I cursed not man, nor the earth, nor other creatures, but man's evil fruit and his works. I said to him, Earth you are, and into the earth whence I took you, you shall go, and I will not ruin you, but send you whence I took you. Then I can again receive you at my second presence. Here, second presence probably is Jesus. And I blessed all my creatures, visible, physical, and invisible, spiritual. And Adam was 5.5 hours in paradise. 5.5 hours in paradise. And I blessed the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, on which he rested from all his works. And I appointed the eighth day also, that the eighth day should be the first created after my work, and that the first seven revolve in the form of the 7,000, and that are the beginning of the 8,000. There should be a time of not counting annus, with neither years, nor months, nor weeks, nor days, nor hours. Beginning of the 8,000 year is eternal. From here, 5.5 hours coincide with May 5th was the day of Jesus' ascension. 5.5. And now, Enoch, all that I have told you, all that you have understood, all that you have seen of heavenly things, all that you have seen on earth, and all that I have written in books, by my great wisdom, all these things I have devised and created from the uppermost foundation to the lower and to the end. And there is no counselor, nor inheritor to my creations. I am self-eternal, not made with hands, and without change. My thought is my counselor, my wisdom and my word are made. And my eyes observe all things, how they stand here and tremble with terror. Again, the thought of God is his counselor, which is the beginning, the creation of all things. And the thought of God created wisdom and word first, then step by step in sequence, different beings. If I turn away my face, then all things will be destroyed. Speaking of that, Satan and fallen angels, they are trying to kill God, replace him. And the thing is, if they kill God, they're killing themselves as well. It's a lose-lose situation. It's not a win-win situation here. I don't understand why they try to kill God, because again, if God turn away his face, then all things will be destroyed. Now, Enoch, I give you the term of 30 days to spend in your house, and tell your sons and all your household, that all may hear from my face what is told them by you, that they may read and understand how there is no other God but me, and that they may always keep my commandments and begin to read and take in the books of your handwriting. And after 30 days, I shall send my angel for you, and he will. And after 30 days, after 30 days, I shall send my angels for you, and he will take you from earth and from your sons to me. Important to understand the concept of 30 days. That means the 30 days could be applied to the saints as a warning before the rapture. And then right here, chapter 37 is even more interesting. And the Lord called upon one of the older angels, terrible and menacing, and placed him by me, in appearance white as snow, and his hands like ice, having the appearance of great frost. And he frozen my face, because I could not endure the terror of the Lord, just as it is not possible to endure a stove's fire and the sun's heat and the frost of the air. And the Lord said to me, Enoch, if your face be not frozen here, no man will be able to behold your face. Does that sound familiar? Sounds like Iceman, right? In the X-Men movies, the X-Men universe.